Welcome to Metaphysical Soul Speak. I'm your host, Elena Fox Starks. Hey guys, I hope that you're doing really well in this moment and that you've had an opportunity to delight in just being today, and that you had moments in which you were just 100% totally in the moment. And if you haven't, that you take time tomorrow, whenever you listen to this in space and time, that you take just a few moments, maybe 10 minutes, maybe 5 if you only have 5, to be mindful and present in this moment. If you sit somewhere outside in nature, even if it's a little grassy area at your work or wherever you happen to be, if you go to the beach or wherever, even if you see like a little line of ants or a little fly or even a moth at night, just watch. Just watch. Watch what it does. What is its purpose? What is it trying to do or accomplish? If it's a moth and it's at night, chances are it's trying to go towards the light. And there's a nice little lesson for you. If it's ants and they're crawling all together, they're showing you that it's time to engage in teamwork. If it's a fly, well, they don't live very long, so they're probably trying to show you how to live in the moment and enjoy your life, no matter how long or short it might be. Appreciate what you have in the moment. I mean, flies, they're bold. They'll like land on your plate while you're eating. They don't have time to waste hoping and wishing, and maybe you'd put something down for them, right? I mean, they'll just fly right onto your sandwich right when you're about to take a bite. It's like, dude, they're bold. Even though they're kind of gross and disgusting. If you see a fly, it's just, I hate to say this, but be more like a fly. Sometimes you need to be bold and go forward and go towards that thing you want so bad without even thinking about it, don't go up and kiss some random person. I don't mean like that, but just, what are your goals and your passions and your dreams? And have you put it off waiting for it to be more accessible to you? If you're trying to get into a specialized college and it's going to cost a lot of money, instead of working and trying to save up for 5 years to go to that college, why don't you find like a wealthy benefactor, or you could find somebody who's willing to give you the money right now so that you can work for them later, or maybe you'll fulfill something later. I once got a scholarship based on my plans to work in the gay and lesbian community, which I promptly did. As soon as I finished with my degree in psychology, I started working in a not a very safe neighborhood in LA, but I did work for a Glass House, gay and lesbian adolescent social services, for a year. So I gave back, to the community, because I paid it forward from the scholarship I got from the Imperial Court, which is a part of the LGBTQIA community, for example. So, but I found a lawyer once. I just was his marketing person, and he got into an argument with me, and I wouldn't back down, even though he was my boss, and any moment he could fire me, right? And he was wrong about something and insisted he was right because he was a lawyer. He was this huge man. He always wore a big, long, black leather duster, like an old cowboy. And he wore cowboy boots and a massive 10-gallon hat that was black. And he had a huge belt buckle. I mean, the belt buckle was like the size of my face, and he was like 7 feet tall. He was my boss. And he said something, I can't remember what the argument was about now. I mean, God bless him. He's one of the coolest people I ever met, but he's stubborn as hell. And he said that I was stubborn. And we got into this argument one day, and I wasn't backing down, and he wasn't backing down. And I laid out all my arguments point by point by point. Number 1, number 2, number 3, subset of number 3. We have A, B, and C to 3. And he was just looking at me like, holy moly, you would make a terrific lawyer. He's like, I'm serious. I'm going to open up my wallet right now. I'm going to open up my checkbook, and I'm going to write you a blank check. Tell me where you want to go to law school. I'm going to fund the whole thing. But you have to give me 2 years of your life when you come back. I want you to be a criminal defense attorney with my team. And I'm like, oh my God. And I almost took it. I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. And then he told his friend about me, and his friend came by, and his friend's like, all right, this is the deal. And the friend apparently he was wealthy, and he was a silent partner. So he put into the business, and then he would get, just like 10% of the paid clients back. And they wanted to start a newspaper with me. And they wanted me to be their business partner. And I was just like, whoa. And then they said, we're going to pay you $10 now. And I said, oh no, I'm going to be your partner. I want 25%. I wanted 30, but it was their ideas. I'm like, yeah, give me 20, 25%. And they wouldn't back down. They said no, they couldn't afford it. I'm like, well, after it's profitable, I'll work for free. But when it starts being profitable, give me 25%. And they were so stubborn, they wouldn't do it. But they were shocked. They were like, oh my God, she's got a business hat on her too. I'm like, yes, I do, baby. I'm not just a pretty face. I'm not just a public relations and marketer. I do a lot more than that. So it was like crazy. But I had that moment where like, oh my God, I could go to law school. And he said, you know what? I don't care if it's a couple years from now, if you come back and you want to be a lawyer, let me know. I'm like, all right. And it got me thinking, some firms will pay your law school if you promise to go back and work for them, not just in law, all kinds of professions. So if that's your goal, there's always a way to fund it. If you have a goal of opening a business, but you don't know how you're going to open it, there's always a way to fund it. There's always something. There's always somebody knows somebody who has the money for you. Or maybe you have the money, but you don't have the land, but somebody has an idea where you could go, oh my God, I was looking in Arkansas. I didn't know my land was in Ecuador. Or I was looking in Ecuador and I couldn't find the right perfect place. But my friend has a place just north of Shasta in California. And that was kind of what I was going for. I wanted a snow spiritual retreat or whatever. So whatever it is your goal is in your life, there's always a way to fund it if you don't have the funding. And if you do have the funding, there's always a way to find the person that has the information. And that's why we have to always love, honor, and respect all the people around us at all times, because you never know which person has that piece of the puzzle that was missing from your plan that will help you move forward in the direction of your dreams. You never know when that person is going to just step forward and be like, hey, Did you meet my friend over here? Well, my friend had an idea kind of along the lines of the thing you were talking about. And even though I didn't understand you because I don't know anything about quantum physics, but this person over here, he's got his PhD, and maybe you guys could work out how to make that replicator together, whatever it is, it's like people in your life are there for a reason, and you're there for a reason for them as well. I know most of the time I'm the person that teaches people the spiritual lessons. Sometimes they're hard lessons, and I don't even do it consciously or purposely. It just happens. When I had gotten very, very, very sick, I used to be this massively not alpha, that's not the right word, A-type, it begins with an H, type A personality, that's it. Alpha, I'm not an alpha, what the hell? What the hell is that? No, Elena, yes, alpha, no. But I've always been like this massively like outgoing, amazing, dynamic individual. I had an unlimited amount of energy, and I was really, really like on top of things, right? Very organized, very Virgo, very on top of it, very bada boom, bada bing, da 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 da, and I would hop on my bike and ride 30 minutes up this massive hill, practically a mountain, every day, and then go down the hill on the other side. It was super fun. And I chose that even on the rainy days, even though I had a car. It was just like I always chose the more energy expending option because I had unlimited energy. And then I got very, very sick, and I was very, very sick, like I couldn't lift a glass of water except to 2 hands, and I was exhausted, and I had to sleep for 4 hours just because lifting a glass of water took all my strength. I mean, I almost died during a summer when I got sick on a military base, and which I've talked about before is a very extremely virulent strain of Epstein-Barr virus, which was literally given to me by the military. And then they monitored my progress against my will. Didn't ask me, didn't say, hey, would you be willing to do this experiment? We've got the antidote, and like nothing. They didn't bother to freaking ask me. And then they turned around, and I think that's what they gave people in Iraq back, in the 90s. But anyway, I won't talk about that so much. But I went from this massively dynamic individual, just like on the go all the time, on the go. And I would like be going and working all day at school. I'd go there at 8 or 9 in the morning. Sometimes I'd go there at 7. I had a guy I was seeing who I loved with all my heart. And we called him B. And when he, every day that he had like a test or something, I would meet him an hour early because I knew his secret was he would show up an hour early, sit down in the hall with his back up against the wall and just read and study. And I always knew that he was too nervous to eat on study days. So I would show up an hour early, and I'd bring him his banana. I'd bring him his muffin that he liked, and I brought him his coffee the way he liked it, and would kiss him for luck and tell him I love him, and I hope I lie, I did never say I loved you. I said I love you to him with my eyes, with my actions, but I was too chicken to actually say anything, so I never told him. I wish I would have. We would have ended up probably still together. But I was just like, I'm not going to tell him. But I had that much energy that I could show up an hour early to school or 2 hours early to school to be there for somebody else and be their cheerleader and their support person and their emotional backup, right? And then I would go hang out with the squirrels for a couple hours. I'd feed them nuts, and they would like come right up to me, sit on my knee, and eat out of my hand. Like I had friends and all kinds of species were my friends, not just people. And I was like constantly on the go, and then I would do stuff after school, and it was like I hardly got any sleep, but I didn't need as much energy. And then all of a sudden one year I got very, very sick, and I almost died. And I was very sick over the summer, and I barely made it to that semester for school. And I my friend who was always constantly, we were always doing stuff together, and all of a sudden I said, I'm too tired, I'm sick, I don't. And one day she just called me and just ripped into me. She laid into me. She said, I know you're faking it. I know you're a liar. I know that none of this is true. I mean, I had like the actual scientific evidence. I had the proof. I had the paper that said the strain that I had and how virulent it was, and how 0 to 99, if you have like from like 90 to 97, that's about where most people were. In my counts were like at 900. The virus was like 900 per million parts of blood or whatever. It was like, off the charts. Like, I was extremely sick, and the doctor's like, if you make it this year, you'll make it, but I will be absolutely shocked as hell if you live this year. I'm like, all right. So I knew it was a potential death sentence, but I didn't tell her that, but I had the scientific evidence, right? And she's like, you're a liar. I don't believe you. You're always a dynamic person. I think you're trying to phase me out. You don't want to be my friend. And so like her dander got up because she thought like I was just trying to diss her, which I never would do. And she didn't believe me. And I was just like, and I prayed, God, let her see the way that I really am sick. Like, give her like the compassion that she needs. She just didn't have it, and it was bothering me because she was one of my best friends. And one day, she just got really, really, really sick. And funny, she was judging me for being with a military man. Next thing you know, she didn't marry, but she met a Marine. And she's like, I met a freaking jarhead, and he's handsome, and he's sweet, and he's intelligent, and he's funny, and he's like the most amazing man I've ever met. And holy crap, now I see the attraction. Like, military men are neat, they're on time, they're like really tidy, they have these habits that they don't even realize they have because they get indoctrinated. I'm like, yeah, military men are great because they will keep your house neat without even having to be asked, because they were trained to do that. Not just that, but just in other things too. I thought it was kind of neat. So, I'm like, well, good. So, he's like, she had judged me about that. And then she fell in love with the military guy. And right after she got with him, and she was kind of not really talking to me as much anymore. You know how you do when you have a relationship. Well, one day she says, one day, actually, she didn't call me for a long time, for like 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And we were normally talking a couple times a day, every day, 7 days a week, right? Like, seriously, like one of my best friends. And all of a sudden it felt like she was phasing me out. And I thought, well, you know what? She's in love. So we'll wait 2-3 months. And, when it calms down, honeymoon phase is over, she'll start calling me again. We'll go out to lunch again. It'll be cool and whatever. And then she called me one day and she said, all right, my whole body has this infection that I got. And she's like, I don't know where I got it, if I got it on the base or not, but, I got this systemic staph infection and I almost died. And I was so sick, I couldn't talk on the phone. I could barely lift my head. And I didn't believe that kind of a thing could happen, especially to someone that's so dynamic and open and amazing like you. Because you and I were the same. Like, she was matching me energy for energy, right? And I mean, she'd be like at school 12 hours a day and then go to an Erasure concert for a couple more hours and still finish her paper by morning. She was like very on top of everything and did a lot of extracurriculars like I did. But, and she said, you know what? I don't know what's wrong, but I think you're some kind of a witch. You're like the kind of person that would if someone judges you for something and I don't know what it is, did you do this? Are you a witch? I'm like, I am a witch, but I didn't do this consciously. No. And she said, well, everything I judged you about came back to haunt me just like that. And I learned all my lessons. I will never judge you again. I will always honor everything you say and believe you, because you're really telling me the truth. And I guess while she was trying to get some sleep one of the days she was sick, she had a revelation about that. And she's like, you are like this spiritual teacher you don't even know that you are. And this is like going back like 30 years, you know. And she and I are still friends. We actually are still friends. And, you know, we haven't really talked about that so much because it freaked her out so bad. She's like, you know, but I started noticing that this happens to a lot of people. If someone judges me or if they like start, you know, gossiping crap about me, it always comes back to that person. And I don't do anything. It just happens automatically. I think that's part of being a Heyoka shaman. I think that's a part of it. And I'm a Heyoka lightning shaman, baby. So it's like, bam, it's like that lightning. It'll come back on you lightning fast, right? So I don't know. I was thinking about that today. I was thinking about that for the past 3 or 4 days. Then it's like I really honestly did nothing I mean, why would I wish that on anyone? I never would. I was like, oh my God. And of course, then I started praying for her. I said, I will pray for you. And then she got better like so fast. And she's like, oh my God. My grandmother had cancer one time, and it was like the size of a golf ball or something. And I started praying about it. And I actually put in a prayer request at Self-Realization Fellowship for the monks and the nuns. And they pick up on Sunday night, they pick up the prayer requests. And so I brought it in on like a Saturday morning. So I knew that they would get it on time. And she had like a lumpectomy where they removed the lump of cancer. They were pretty sure it was cancer. And on Monday, she had it like Monday morning. So they didn't have many hours to pray. And I was praying and my husband was praying for her. And I just imagined it, visualizing it, shrink down to nothing. And it's definitely not cancer. And they were like, on the x-ray, they're like, we're definitely sure it's cancer. It's the size of a golf ball. By the time she got there on that Monday, it was just a benign cyst that was the size of a green pea. Like little teeny tiny, like a little tiny, like pencil eraser shape, yeah, or like round, that size. It was like nothing. It was not cancer, and she was fine. She's like, and she called me, and she's like, I don't know what you did, but thank you, because the prayer worked. I'm like, oh, it wasn't just me. I had the monks, the nuns, at Self-Realization Fellowship in Malibu praying for you. I had Paramahansa Yogananda and Jesus from the other side praying for you. I was praying for you. My husband was praying for you. You know, we were all like praying for you. And she was just like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Like literally, I witnessed a miracle because of you, because of your actions, right? So I don't know what this is. If it's just because I'm aware of things and I know how to visualize things and I studied this so long, I knew how to pray, how to visualize. I don't know. I'll try to go over some of this stuff a little bit more in the next probably the next few weeks. I'll try to come up with something about how to visualize something away, you know, like that. But I don't know. I just had to share that with you guys. Just some weird personal, insane experiences. I mean, like for real though. Strange stuff. Okay. The unprecedented dimming of Betelgeuse is continuing. Astronomers from Villanova University reported this week that Betelgeuse continued to dim even further. The red supergiant's luminosity now is at a 25-year low, stokes speculation that the star is about to collapse and explode. Other explanations are at least as likely. It might just be blowing dust from the outer cooled layers, and it creates a haze that will dim its own light as far as our perspective. And they say, well, whatever's happening, Betelgeuse should be closely watched, say the researchers, because of the unusual behavior. There's absolutely no solar wind. I mean, there's solar wind. It's 362 kilometers per second. Nothing coming our way. We got hit by something today, and that was it. There's like nothing. There's no coronal holes. There's no nothing. Literally nothing going on as far as the sun. We are at a high still as far as the Oulu, Finland neutron counts. And if you go to spaceweather.com, you're going to see some gorgeous ice crystals that appeared. They're ice pillars. It looks like something out of Well, I just watched Close Encounters of the Third Kind with my son tonight. We haven't seen each other in a couple of days because of all the weird cosmic radiation coming in. We were sleeping. We missed each other for 2 days, and we live in the same apartment. We're both home. And and finally today he said, Mom, can we watch something? Can you take the evening off? And that's why the show's late tonight. I'm not going to apologize for that because I needed to spend time with my kid. It's been 2 days. And he says, let's watch them. I'm like, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And he's like, yes. So we did that finally. But the Arctic light pillars, they look like auroras, but they're not. I saw a brilliant display of light pillars it was on January 20th, so it was like yesterday. And he says they were like sparkling static noise. And they're gorgeous. They are ice crystals that hang in the air, and they pick up the light from below from, our lights on the ground. And they're beautiful. They're like white, and they're yellow, and they're a little bit pink. So go check out that on spaceweather.com. It's surrounded by frosty, snow-covered Christmas trees. It's beautiful. Also, green auras on this website. Absolutely beautiful, stunning pictures today. All right. Disclosure news.it coming out of Italy. Schumann resonance news today. Let's see. It's calm for a number of hours, and they had strong variations. Not really real calm, they said, but 20 hours, there was a significant variation of just like 13. So it's like calm and then 13. And then there was a powerful peak that reached 56 at 8:20 UTC for 30 minutes. And again, the same value as yesterday. And following that was other movements around power 50, and then power 17 was reached just before 17 time on the timeline. So 17 at 17 again, that's another significance. And then it was a calm condition again from 1700 on. I was like confused, like another 17. It's like, we're surrounded by God's number. It's so awesome. All right, so it just says it's now just flat. So basically 56. Let me scroll up. Yeah, it says 56. I want to make sure that's what it says. So, all right, see how many minutes I have left on this. Okay, yeah, good. All right. Now, this one's really weird. The Schumann resonance for HeartMath Institute. Oh my gosh. Okay. First of all, everything was pretty low, below 100 pretty much for all the cities except for Hululu, South America. No, South Africa. My God. Take 2 days off and check that out. And like, what the hell? All right. Let's see. On the 19th, they were at 474, then up to 468 later on the 19th in Hafuf, Saudi. I keep saying the wrong thing. Dag nabbit. Hululu, South Africa. That's the one that's always the anomaly lately in the past. In fact, I just watched Close Encounters of the Third Kind. If you go to heartmath.org and you look up the Schumann resonance, they call it the GCMS magnetometer. And if you look that up, it looks like the Devil's Tower when you stretch out the data. And it just looks like Close Encounters of the Third Kind. It's incredible. Okay. Again, checking with the moments. My phone. Oh, my phone. It's so annoying. I had to turn off and turn on like 30 times again today. It took hours, and finally it was on for like hours. I'm like, yes. And I started the show and everything's cool. And I just went to record, and then boom, it just shut off again. I'm like, urgh. So I'm recording this again off the internet, hoping it works. All right, so Hafuf, Saudi Arabia, it's Hafuf, Saudi Arabia, right? Okay. They started off at midnight at 13, and they went down to 0 by 5 a.m. So at midnight, all the way across, I'm sorry, I'm lying. Like, what is up with Hafuf in my mind? Hafuf has been in my mind a lot. I've got to check out what's going on over there. California started off at 13 at midnight, went down to 0. Hafuf, Saudi Arabia was at 0 all the way across. Lithuania started off at 12 at midnight, but by 5 a.m. they were also at 0. Alberta, Canada was at 0 all the way across. So by 5 a.m., we have 4 cities absolutely at 0 on the Schumann resonance scale. Really, really, really weird. And then in Northland, New Zealand, they start off at 77, nice round master number, at midnight, and they went up to 82 by 5 a.m. And here we go. Hulului, South Africa. Oh my God, I finally said it right. At midnight, they were at 204 hertz frequency. By 5 a.m., they were at 209. All right, well, I got to quit, and then I'll come right back in a moment with, well, the lesson that we usually do. I talked too long today. Damn the internet one. All right, I'll be right back after this message. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's high time you did. It is the absolute easiest way to make a podcast. First of all, it's absolutely free. Second of all, they have creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. You guys have known that I've been doing this for 8 months using the Anchor.fm app right on my cell phone, and I have done it everywhere, right? I have recorded this in my living room, my bedroom, little cafes in Quito, Ecuador, all over Cuenca. It's so absolutely easy to make your podcast, and editing is just a snap. Anchor also will distribute your podcast for you, and it took me about 2.5 months to become syndicated, and now I'm available on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more, and so can you. You can make money from your podcast also, and there's no minimum requirement. You get paid from your very first listener. It is everything that you need to make a podcast all in one place. So please, if you are interested in making a podcast of your very own, do not hesitate to start with Anchor. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. All right, guys, we are now doing take 2. Unbelievable. I did a 30-minute perfect reading for you guys. And all of a sudden, there's again no sound. Did a 13-second thing, did nothing different, and the 13 seconds came out fine with sound. I am getting really tired of this. I definitely am going tomorrow to go buy a tablet. My friend closed the shop early, and I couldn't go do that today, so stuck doing this on the computer. And my other phone, still again, after 40 times trying to turn it back on, and it shuts itself off. I don't know, guys. It's like I don't think my energy and electronics mix very well. Anyway, we were at lesson 216. We're still in a review. Foundation for Inner Peace can be found at acim.org, or you can just download a Course in Miracles app. There's many to choose from. They're all free. All right, lesson 216 is, I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. And the thought for today to focus on is from lesson 196. It can be but myself I crucify. It can be but myself I crucify. All that I do unto myself. If I attack, I suffer. But if I forgive, salvation will be given me. I am not a body. I am free, for I am still as God created me. Now that did go really well with the first half of the show, and I did not even know what the lesson was today. When you judge other people, when you put them down or think they're lying to you and you accuse them of lying, and you really mean it, not joking, but when you really mean it, you're really just crucifying yourself. And that's exactly what happened when my friend judged me and then went through several things in a row, the same exact thing that I'd gone through. And then the other part of it is when I forgive, I am forgiven, right? When I have no judgments and I trust the process, then things will be made easy, such as in the way of my grandmother's story, where she had faith that she would get better, and I had faith she would get better, and she had no judgment. She just felt very positive and free in her energy, and it just flowed, and bada boom, bada bing, and she got healed miraculously. So, all right, I know that you guys like the sound, so we're going to do the ASMR like I did the first time. But here we go. I'm going to give it to you 3 times, even though I've already laid out the cards. I did this 7 times, this shuffling energy. I also had Archangel Raphael and Archangel Michael and the Goddess Venus help me pick the cards today, but Prime Creator was the one that channeled through me so that the correct card would come through. And this is what we got, all right? The first question I asked was the past, the present, and the future for all twin flames incarnate. And this also applies to you if you are not a twin flame incarnate, but you're with a soulmate or you're about to become involved with a soulmate. Also, this is for you if you are single and you haven't been with anybody and you are hoping to be with somebody. And this shows where you are at in the preparation process, readying yourself for a soulmate or a twin flame. But say you're in a relationship with a soulmate or alone and you're waiting for your twin, this is not, and you are a twin incarnate, this is, I want you to take this part of the reading as definitely for you as a twin flame. So if you're in a soulmate relationship, take this to mean your twin flame relationship. All right. So you might be in a twin flame relationship and think it's a soulmate, but only you're going to understand where you're at with this. But this is basically everybody's love life. Everybody in the collective. Okay. So the first question out of the main question about the love life is, where have we been at for the past 3 months? What happened? Where were we? And that first card we got is Optimismo in Espanol, or Optimus in German. I'm using the Tarot of the Andes like I always do. It's the only deck I've got. But this card is the Ace of Wands. And when I look on Galaxy Tarot, which is a free app, it says, here's the words, the buzzwords for this card is birth, energy, inspiration, sexuality, and self-image. When this card appears, look for a new opportunity. The Ace of Wands is a seed to be nurtured. This is a bright new idea, a burst of creative energy, and a source of inspiration, excitement, enthusiasm, and energy for something new are available when the Ace of Wands appears in a spread. Now is your chance to be courageous. So this card can indicate anything related to new life, conception or birth, both literally and metaphorically. In a love reading, the Ace of Wands is an indication of passion, excitement, and fun. So this is basically an opportunity that you have grasped, and it is getting ready to come into fruition. So if you're already with your twin flame, Maybe it's something you're going to do together, something, some new energy coming in, or a way that you've been able to view yourself, having a new self-image in relationship with your divine counterpart. Now, the second card in this question is where we are at right now. So this card that I got is Reina Entusiasta, the enthusiastic queen, otherwise known as the Queen of Wands. So it's related to the Ace of Wands, where Ace is just the first one. It's just one. It's a little baby wand, and the Queen of Wands is the divine feminine. And this means that we are coming into our own. We are accepting the divine feminine as a part of ourselves with love, joy, and enthusiasm. Okay? And it's like she's all grown up now. Our love is mature. Our ability and our opportunity and everything, it seems ripe for the picking. So if we are not at all with our twin, if we're not at all with anybody, and our twin is incarnate with us, we're ready. We are prepared. We are enthusiastic as well. Now, when we are looking to the future, in the next 6 months, where are we going to be? This card is El Loco. I love saying the fool in Spanish. It's amazing. This card is gorgeous, and it has an 11 on it. That is another sign that twin flames will be reuniting in the next 6 months, okay? The Fool card is a brand new path. You're setting foot out into a brand new horizon, and you are walking towards Purple Mountain's majesty. Basically, ascending together, walking to the highest spiritual point together that two people can share. Now, say you are not a twin flame and you're with your soulmate, you will still be that for each other while you're here. If you both are not incarnate with your twin at the same time, most people are not, so don't worry or panic if you're not. That's okay. Your twin is with you 100% of the time right now. If he or she is on the other side, they're like a spiritual guide for you. So they're always with you, and they're always loving you and cheering you on, and they are 100% with you, and your hearts are always connected. So if your twin is not incarnate, you're never alone. They're already with you. So if you're with a soulmate, that's okay. That's good, because you're still going to walk up the Fool's path together, and it's like a happy-go-lucky, beautiful connection with your higher self and Prime Creator. You're walking together, and you're going to walk through the gates together. Now, if you have chosen to be alone in this time, this means your relationship with yourself. Now, the second question I asked, and this has nothing to do with relationships or the twin flame thing, it's just basically the spiritual path for the awakened ones. Even if you woke up last week, you are considered one of the awakened ones, as far as I'm concerned, at least. And again, this the past, the present, and the future. So, where have you been for the past 3 months, spiritually speaking? You have been the world, el mundo. The card I got is the world. That represents us for the past 3 months. Have we not been trying to get through and get over all of the stuff of the world? We have been trying to get through it. We have been trying to make amends. We've been trying to forgive. We've been trying to forget. We've been trying to heal all the things about the world. Now, when you look at the card, that is the present moment. This is a good one. This is the 8 of Cups, and in Spanish it says at the bottom, contacto and relación. So basically, contact and relations. So I think that we've been trying to contact our divine counterparts inside us, balancing everything, having a better relationship with ourselves, having a better relationship, and for some of you would be with money. It is an 8. 8 is a number that symbolizes money. So you're trying to balance all your relationships right now in these moments, trying to balance yourself, trying to figure it out with everybody else in your life. I'm going to look it up and I'm going to tell you what it says. This one in the Galaxy Tarot. Okay. This one is a very spiritual card too, by the way. 8 also on its side means infinity. We are facing the fact that we are infinite spiritual beings that will never die. We're always on the spiritual path. Even when we don't acknowledge it, we are on it, okay? So, these are the buzzwords for the 8 of Cups, where the awakened ones are at right now in the present moment. Spirit quest, leaving behind, retreat, travel, and taking space. This is a card of letting go and moving on. Although the retreat indicated by the 8 of Cups is voluntary, it can be also painful. It often means taking time alone to contemplate one's emotions and decide if leaving is the best route to take for you. It could mean literally leaving, changing your home, ending a relationship, quitting your job, moving somewhere else to another state or something, going on a trip to find yourself, or leaving behind your hopes and your dreams that you have outgrown. When this card appears, you or someone involved is tired of feeling disappointed and hopeless, and now is ready to look for the better things in life. Often this card will indicate a craving for spiritual deepening. So that's where we're at, deepening ourselves spiritually, walking that spiritual path. Because, of course, we are the queen of enthusiasm, right? So where do we end up? 6 months from now, we're awakened. We're already enlightening. We're on our way, right? Not saying we're all spiritual masters because we awoke. We're not. Most of us aren't. If you are, you're not going to be listening to me. If you have more knowledge of me, why do you need me for, right? And I'm not a spiritual master, but I'm not really the blind leading the blind. I've been spiritually aware for a long time. Long time. I mean, 1987 was my big spiritual awakening. So quite a while. But every day, I'm still getting epiphanies. Like even yesterday, today, every day. All right, so where do we go? 15 minutes. I'm 15 minutes in. Okay. Where do we go? 6 months from now. Between now and the next 6 months. We have a Capricorn here, and that's good. It's a good sign. And Saturn. There's some things I want to talk to you guys about Saturn probably in the next day or two. But our card that we got is La Rueda del Destino, or otherwise known as the Wheel of Fortune. Basically, the wheel is representative of the karmic cycles. Birth, death, rebirth, blah, 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 reincarnation, karma, blah, blah, blah. But we are now at the precipice. We're at the top of the wheel. And we're getting ready to jump off of it. We are getting ready to be 100% out of y'all. We're out of here, man. We are going to the next phase. We are beginning the age of Aquarius. The new 26,000 year cycle is beginning, the golden age that you have heard about. It's here. In the next 6 months, we're going to be there. Hopping into the 5th dimension, escaping that karmic crap. That's why a lot of us are single right now, because we've already done all of the karmic stuff. It's over. We don't really need to deal with that anymore. That's why there's no new relationships forthcoming. It's just like a freaking desert out there, for a lot of us, because we've done that, been there, done that, over it. hey, and now we're waiting for the twin flame. Or we will end up meeting someone who's spiritual like us, and it'll be brand new, and there'll be no karma. Nothing to work out or work through or get over or apologize for or anything we owe them. They don't owe us anything. We can love each other lovingly, freely, openly, without any baggage from past lives, right? So the world is open. The world is our oyster. That's where it is. The third question I asked is about the sleeping people. We all know them. We all love them. Some of us are in relationships with them. I've had several emails and text messages from people who say, oh my God, this is so hard. I have had an epiphany. I've had a spiritual awakening. I'm aware spiritually. I can't get enough. I'm watching Gaia constantly. I'm listening to shows like yours and others constantly. I can't get enough of this spiritual stuff. And my partner thinks I'm kind of like crazy, right? He's asleep or she's not waking up. And while I love her, I don't know what to do about it, right? A lot of people are stuck in that energy. So I did a little reading. I got the cards out for the sleepers. The ones that are pausing. They're pausing the alarm, right? They're snoozing. They're hitting that snooze button. Oh, what? Spiritual awakening? Nope. Push that button. Go back to sleep another 15 minutes, 15 days, 15 months, 15 years. The people who are stubbornly refusing to wake up. They're past what they've been dealing with the past 3 months. We got equilibrium. Equilibrium is the main buzzword for this card. The Two of Swords. Now, what this means, according to Galaxy Tarot, buzzwords for this one is indecision, impartiality, mediator, and standstill. The Two of Swords appears when you're putting off making a decision for right now. You might be feeling ambivalence or uncertainty. You might not want to offend or hurt someone involved. Two of Swords may represent the need for withdrawal in order to contemplate options. Be rational when making decisions. The card might indicate you need to know more facts before you can make an informed decision. Also, this means that these people have been ignoring their emotions, using logic to deny how they're feeling, and they might be denying the truth or compartmentalizing aspects of their lives in order not to have to deal with that. The spirituality, right? While it might be true, ignorance is bliss, ignorance or denial can also cause them to remain stuck in circular thinking and their emotional patterns. So basically what I got when I looked at this card, when I felt this card, was this. They don't want to offend you, honey, but you're crazy. This spiritual stuff you're talking about, it sounds like you're part of a cult. They know what's going on. They're logical. They can do math. You're the crazy one, not them. We go back up to the top. The future for all the lovers out there, the fool's journey. That's our next 6 months. Because wisdom to the foolish is foolishness, right? So basically, they don't understand wisdom. They don't understand spirituality, so they think you're crazy. But they don't want to offend you. So for 3 months, they've been walking on eggshells around you. They're walking on the eggshells. They're thinking, you know what? I can't tell her. I can't tell him that he's gone off his rocker, man. She needs to get on some meds, man. She's the crazy one, not me. And at the same time, they're denying any signs that spirituality is real. They're probably seeing 1111 or 444 or 333 or even 222 a lot. They just think it's a weird coincidence. Count that, chalk that one up to coinky dink, and we're going to not think about it anymore, right? Don't worry. That's the last 3 months. What are they doing now? People that have been asleep right now, what they're going through is temperance. Temperance. And I love this card. It's a person an angel who is two-faced. And on one side, there's the black bat wing. And on the other side is a white angel wing. It's someone who's going from the darkness into the light. They are being tempered. They are getting ready to awaken, if they're going to. And they are keeping that equilibrium and balance if they are not. So temperance is kind of like pouring, water onto dry ground in order to temper it so that everything is equal, right? So it shows kind of that equilibrium kind of energy going. So let me look up temperance real quick for the buzzwords here. Right now what they're doing is compromising, experimenting, creating, and combining. So they might take a little bit of your spirituality. All right, well, let's go out and meditate together. All right, well, that does relieve stress. So you know what? I'll give you that one. You know what? We should do yoga. I heard that's healthy. It's good for your physical body. And they're not seeing the spiritual component. Raja Yoga, divine union with the God, with the Creator. They might not quite see that. It says now is the time of adjustment. They're going to have to adjust. So 2 or more things are coming together to create something new. That's what's happening to the sleepers. They're integrating in their lives stuff with someone else. They're integrating work and home or spirituality into their everyday life with your help, of course. So whatever project they're working on, they will have to start to change it a little, assess the results, step back and actually see the bigger picture. They're going to have to be like a scientist, changing one variable at a time to see what happens, to see how they can achieve a greater harmony with you, the awakened one, and with their normal day in, day out routine, right? So they might be feeling off kilter right now. They might be trying to figure out what they are feeling and what they are doing in life. And they're trying to find that balance. They have to move forward. They don't quite know how. That's where you come in. Be there with good advice, waiting for when they awaken. Yeah, tell them about my show. Now, what does the future hold for the next 6 months for the sleepers, for the unawakened ones? Well, I asked God 3 times, is this really the right card? I'm still getting a meso testing, yes. In the next 6 months, they've got death coming, baby. Death. Don't be scared. They're either going to stubbornly refuse to change and they're going to die physically, and they'll go off to another place. Or the more likely scenario, a lot of people are going to die. Don't be alarmed. It's part of the process. And that's just because their souls and spirits were not ready, willing, and able to handle the new energy. They weren't able to adjust and adapt. And they're going to go the way of the dodo birds and the dinosaurs. Sorry to say, a lot of people will be going that way. Don't be alarmed. You'll see them again. You'll see them again. No one ever really truly dies. They're just going to leave the physical envelope, okay? There's still the letter inside. The letter, of course, being their soul. But more often than not, the death card does symbolize a transformation. Dying to your old self, being regenerated and reborn anew, born again, into who you were truly meant to be as a spiritual awakened person or awakening in this case. So the death card means basically imagine the life of a caterpillar. This would be the life of a caterpillar. I don't know. I mean, I see my friends changing. They've got wings. I don't know where the hell they got them. They're crazy. I don't know why they're flying. I don't know why they're going up so high and their vibration is higher and their bodies are skinnier and they've got these wings. I don't know where they got them. They're crazy. I can't tell them they're crazy. I want to keep, everything the same, equilibrium. And then all of a sudden they're waking up and they're like, wait a minute. You mean I could have wings? I could change my wings from black to white? From not having wings to having wings? I could change? Well, let's see how I could change with all still keeping the way that I like it. I still like my TV. I still like my football. I still like my, my beer on the weekend. I mean, maybe I can meditate on Thursdays and still have a beer on Saturday. So they're going to bargain and, finally they're going to accept it. When they hit the death card in the next 6 months, it's coming. It's definitely coming. So what's going to happen with that is they're going to build that cocoon and then they're going to come out a butterfly and then they're going to emerge and they could go, oh my God, I'm glad I died. I'm glad I went through that transformational change. That I died to my old self and I awoke anew and oh my God, look at my wings. I'm beautiful now. I can fly with the rest of them. I can fly with the best of them. I am awake and I am grateful I woke up and now I can move on. Because we're it. We're here. We're in the golden age. We're in the golden era. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius, which incidentally is indicated by the Temperance card. That's where the sleepers are at right now, on the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Temperance, baby. Booyah. It's awesome. We're here. We're right there on the precipice, baby. Right on the edge. Even the sleepers. Well, that's it. It's all I got to say for right now. Thank you for sharing my show with others, especially the ones that are newly awakened. And thank you for your loyalty, your patience, and kindness, especially during this technical difficulties and whatnot. And thank you for your friendships. A lot of you I'm becoming friends with, so thank you for everything. I love each and every one of you, and I'll be back tomorrow with all unique original programming, just like always. I think we might hear from the Andromedans tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. But right now, I'm signing off with peace and joy and the high vibes of the holy fifth dimension. Until next time, guys, peace. Metaphysical Soul Speak is run on sponsors and listener support. This means listeners like you. If you are so inclined to support my efforts and my little podcast, please visit me at anchor.fm/metaphysical and pledge an amount of your choosing today. Thank you.